Act 1 of Robin Hood by Amice MacDonell. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Characters represented.
Robin Hood, read by Kristin G.
Will Scarlet, read by Beth Thomas.
Little John, read by Brad Filippone.
Much, read by Esther and Simonides.
Allan-a-Dale, read by Zames Curran.
Friar Tuck, read by Ted Delorme.
Sir Richard at the Lee, read by Suman Barua.
Maid Marian, read by Lydia.
The Sheriff of Nottingham, read by Zames Curran.
The Sheriff's Wife, read by Newgate Novelist.
The Baron of the Black Castle, read by Todd.
Guy, read by Larry Wilson.
Anthony, read by Rapunzelina.
Avisa, read by Bethany Baldwin.
Jock, read by Elijah Fisher.
Joan, read by Abby.
King, read by Fred Abboud.
Queen Eleanor, read by Adele de Pigneroles.
First Lady in Waiting, read by Bria Snow.
Second Lady in Waiting, read by Avaí.
Third Lady in Waiting, read by Vanessa Cooley.
The Messenger, read by Asher Garavi.
Stage directions by Rachel. Robin Hood. Prologue.
We greet you all, and bid you stay and look upon our little play. Here is the tale of Robin Hood, whose court was in the gay greenwood, whose merry men went to and fro more than 600 years ago. Knight, king, maid Marian you shall see, come from the land of poesy. Smile kind on them whose bows were bent to shield the weak where'er they went, and you may give a little sigh at helpless woe in days gone by. And last we beg, if skies be grey and winter here, believe 'tis May, our little stage the forest glade, our curtain of the fresh leaves made. Come with us to the gay green wood, in the good old days of Robin Hood.
Act 1. Scene 1. Noon, May Day, under an oak in Sherwood Forest. Logs or benches in centre, and on left and right of stage, food, jugs, dishes, treasure chest, scales, etc., on the extreme right of stage. Enter left, Robin Hood, with Scarlet, Little John, Much, Tuck, Allan-a-Dale.
Now he who would dull care forsake, and live right merrily, should take his good bow in his hand, and should hie to the greenwood tree, and should hie to the greenwood tree. For the boughs wave lightly overhead, and the birds sing loud and free. And 'tis merry, merry, hey down, and merry, merry down. 'Tis merry neath the greenwood tree, and 'tis merry neath the greenwood tree. The sun shines bravely through the glade, and over the hill we go. At the sound of bold Robin Hood's shrill horn, each bends his trusty bow, each bends his trusty bow. For the boughs wave lightly overhead, and the birds sing loud and free. And 'tis merry, merry, hey down, and merry, merry down. 'Tis merry neath the greenwood tree, and 'tis merry neath the greenwood tree.
Robin Hood. To Tuck, who sinks down on right-hand log.
What ails you? You look sad. Amongst us merry archers, the May Day was wont to be a time of mirth and feasting.
Feasting? There speaks my master Robin Hood, king of good fellowship. It's food that aileth me, or rather I should say it is the great lack of it.
Scarlet steps forward, stands centre.
It must be near on noon. Look at the sun.
Friar Tuck stands up, leans back, and gazes up at the sky.
Hi, some of you hold me up. I faint for hunger, and cannot see the sun for emptiness.
Much supports Tuck behind, and then pulls him down onto right-hand log. Much steps forward.
We have wandered many an hour, master, chasing the red deer. Yonder is meat roasted on the fire. Shall we not keep May Day with some feasting?
Robin Hood seats himself on centre log.
I will not dine today until we find a guest with whom to share our dinner.
Singing and archery and no meat kill any man.
I must be propped up by this log until our guest do come.
Sits down on the ground.
Poor little John! I will not break my fast, I tell you, until a guest cometh.
Tuck lifts clasped hands.
Heaven send us guests in haste. Support me. I am so hungry I shall eat the oak leaves ere long.
Little John! Little John!
Aye, master.
Go, Little John, and look forth by yonder beach. Look up and down the glade, and see if no man cometh.
Little John gets up slowly.
Since my master command it, I will go.
Walks slowly to left of stage. Scarlet, looking towards left of stage.
Pray that some rich abbot be coming on his fat mule, laden with gold, costly raiment and barrels of wine, white cakes and pasties.
Oh, speak not of all this.
I am not so faint with hunger that I would not try a turn of the quarterstaff with the strongest traveller that ever came this way.
Shakes his quarterstaff.
Nay, Scarlet, we will use the next traveller who comes this road with courtesy.
Strings his bow.
May I not break his head with my quarterstaff?
No, we'll keep that for others.
I care not who tastes of my good quarterstaff.
The next travellers shall share our meal, whoever they be. See you anyone coming, Little John?
Little John turns round.
Naught but oaks and beeches. Wait. Nay, alas, 'tis but a hare in yonder brake. I thought it had been a man in brown raiment.
His mind is distracted.
Robin Hood goes on stringing his bow.
Look longer, Little John.
Rises.
Hark ye all.
We
hearken.
It is May Day, and we have no May Queen for our sports. Perhaps she too will come this blithe morning.
Our Queen of May.
Verily. See you aught?
Only 2 wood doves flying away. Alas for our dinner.
I will come and look.
Goes left to Little John. Robin Hood sits down again.
Have patience.
Master! Master!
Behold our company come!
Rushes back to Tuck.
I said the guests would come.
Tuck falls on his knees.
Our dinner cometh.
Jumps up and calls to Little John.
In what guise comes our dinner to us?
A knight and a lady. Downcast and sorrowful they seem. The lady weepeth.
Greet them and bring them to me.
Little John kneels to Knight and Marian, who enter on left, looking sad and clad in ragged clothes.
What will you?
Little John, rising.
My master greets you and bids you dine with him.
Thanks, gentle friend. We will willingly do so, for my daughter is nigh to fainting with weariness and hunger.
And so are we all.
Oh, dinner, dinner!
Little John brings Knight and Lady to Robin Hood.
Here, master, are your guests.
Little John is on left side of stage. Robin Hood holds out his hands.
You are welcome. And you, gentle lady, did I not say that they would come to share our dinner and make glad this day? We have tarried for you and feasted till you came.
We thank you greatly.
Verily, kind friend, at the sight of so many archers, my heart did quake with fear.
These are my merry men, and I am Robin Hood.
Knight starts back.
Robin Hood, the outlaw.
Are you the fierce outlaw of the forest?
I am he.
Takes her hand and leads to a seat on a centre log.
Yet fear nothing, fair lady. We are wild dwellers in the woods, who live on what we kill with our bows and arrows, but no courtesy shall be lacking to you.
Stands on right of Marian.
Bring the feast.
Allan-a-Dale and Much fetch food from right, set it on ground in front of centre log, and then return to their places on right. Robin Hood, to Knight, pointing to left-hand log.
Will you not be seated?
Knight sits down sadly.
You are sad, Sir Knight.
Verily I am, good king of the woods.
Robin Hood pours out wine and fills a cup, which he hands to Knight.
Well, here is somewhat to cheer you. Let us all fall to.
Robin Hood hands round food, and they all eat.
Methinks you have saved my daughter's life. I could almost forget my griefs in seeing her revive.
I am indeed refreshed.
Little John comes from place on left and hands food to Knight.
You must also eat, good sir.
Returns to left.
Alas, I have but little appetite.
Much springs forward.
Are you sick? I have most excellent herbs of the forest that will cure you.
Wise physician, no herbs of the forest could cure my ill. which is a sorrowing heart.
But rest with us, and cast care aside.
We in the woods are merry.
Would I could be merry too,
Here be fear no ill.
while I must endure the scorn of my enemies.
Much takes Allan-a-Dale's hand.
We live in good fellowship.
My friends have all forsaken me.
Hides his face.
Alas, it is truth.
Robin Hood sits on centre log right of Marian.
Now, knight and fair lady, unfold to us your grief. Have we not all of us known hard days?
Verily, master, there are brambles and mires in every man's road.
I could weep for pity.
We'll fill up his cup. Go on, good sir. Who are you?
I am a knight of the West Country. In many a pitched battle have I fought, and with the cross upon my shield I slew the heathen in Holy Land. Sir Richard at the Lee is my name, and this is my daughter, who is called Marian.
Fair lands were ours, a castle by the swift river which rises in the western mountains.
It was a goodly heritage I had, but evil days fell on us.
Alack!
My brother slew by mishap a knight in a tourney, and to save my brother in his right I was forced to pledge all I had to the Sheriff of Nottingham.
The Sheriff of Nottingham? He is our deadly foe. He'd throw us poor archers in black donjons if he could catch us.
Well, it was to him I pledged my lands and castle, and if I cannot pay him £400 before tomorrow eve, they are all forfeit. I can pay it no way.
What will you do if you cannot get the money, good friend?
Alas, my lands and all will be the proud sheriff's, and I shall go over the seas with my daughter to some distant land.
Alas, poor lady!
Beggars shall we be.
Marian weeps.
You have done us good service and given us bountiful entertainment, but alack, I can only repay your kindness with this miserable coin. See, my bag is empty.
Little John looks in. Tuck rises and looks. Both raise their hands.
'Tis empty quite.
No coin will I take now, but one day, sir knight, you shall pay me well for this dinner, and for your fair broad land besides. Little John.
Beckons to Little John, who comes over to right of Robin Hood.
Can we help the knight?
Verily, master, I think we can.
Little John, and you, Scarlet, fetch out our treasury. Who has the key?
I have the key.
Produces big key. Little John and Scarlet go to right of stage and fetch the chest, which they set down in centre front of stage. Much unlocks it, then Scarlet returns to his place behind Tuck, and Much to his place on left of Allan-a-Dale. Little John stands right of Robin Hood.
Who has the scales?
Here are the scales.
Holds up scales.
Weigh out £400. That will redeem the lands and castle.
Allan-a-Dale weighs out gold, which Robin Hood takes and hands to Knight. Allan-a-Dale goes back to his place.
Nay, but, good Robin Hood.
You shall return in a year and pay me.
Knight rises.
We ne'er can thank you.
Marian rises.
Nay, never, noble Robin Hood.
A year from today, ere it be high noon, we will stand beneath this oak and deliver you the £400.
And bless you for our kindest friend. Never shall we think on Barnesdale or Sherwood without blessing Robin Hood and his brave men.
It is well to succour a friend in our need.
Master, their raiment is full worn and ragged. Methinks we might furnish them somewhat better.
Little John, you are right. Fetch hither our cloth. Good Allan-a-Dale.
To Knight and Marian.
Those who taste the hospitality of the woods should wear the merry livery of the forest.
Would you clothe us like trees in the springtime?
Little John must give you of our good cloth of Lincoln green.
Allan-a-Dale fetches cloth and spreads it out in front of stage. Scarlet comes forward with his bow.
Here is my bow to measure out the cloth.
He kneels and measures cloth, which Allan-a-Dale holds out. Much stands on tiptoe and looks over Tuck's shoulder.
Look, to each good bow length does he add a piece.
He thinks that all men be as big as himself.
When cloth is cut, it is given to Little John. Scarlet and Allan-a-Dale return to their places.
That is well.
A brave knight should not ride alone. Would it not seemly to have a squire to wait upon him and the gentle lady?
You speak truth. Go, Little John, with the knight and the lady. Guide them through the forest, and wait on them with reverence. Fight their battles. Follow them wheresoever they bid you go.
I will, good master. Since you command, I will go with him to the world's end.
Goes over to left and stands behind knight.
We shall have a trusty squire. He will return with us next year. Faithfully we will repay the money, but never can we tell our thanks.
I did it full gladly. Come back as you promised by noon on May Day.
We will, we will.
And I would ask a boon, fair lady. Come back and be our Queen of May in the forest.
Aye, our Queen of May.
I will, I will. I will be your Queen of May when a year has rolled away. You shall hold my court so gay, boughs of green oak binding, cuckoo flowers and buds of May, for a bright crown winding. Haste then, O sweet spring, draw nigh, summer pass thou lightly by, winter when thy snowflakes fly, and earth her rest out taking. Silent like the woods we lie, until the springs are waking. I will be your Queen of May, coming back upon this day. Green woods witness what I say, birds sing my vows binding. To the oak we'll find our way, by roads or rough or winding.
Marian, the knight, and Little John go out left, followed by Robin Hood and his men. End of Act 1.